this hour. Take a look at Etsy, up big because Citigroup upgrading the company to a buy, up $9 at $11. Now this, UN security officials, they fear ISIS could be targeting the Rio Olympics with a dirty bomb. Sebastian Gorka back with us. I would imagine, Sebastian, that the Olympics would be, you know, a dream target for ISIS. So this threat should be taken very seriously.
Absolutely, and it's clear the United Nations has. So if you look at the IAEA, they're deploying experts and they're deploying instruments to detect radiological devices. And it's more than just hypothetical. The fact is the Brazilian authorities in recent weeks have arrested 12 individuals already linked to ISIS. So this isn't just a hypothetical. And if we look at their tactics in the last couple of years, 18 months, what have they always been looking for? ISIS says in their publications and is explicit, look for high concentrations of unarmed civilians. Well, it doesn't get more highly concentrated than an Olympic event. So this is something the Brazilians have to take desperately seriously, Ashley.
And my question to you, Sebastian, I know that they made those arrests that you mentioned. Do you have faith in the Brazilian authorities to be able to prevent an attack like this?
Well, in fact, actually, over the years, I've worked very closely and had members of the Brazilian government as my students here when I worked at the Defense Department. The counterterrorism professionals are really top-notch, but the question is, this is a huge event. Do they have the manpower to actually cordon off all of the locations? And on top of that, it's about intelligence. Do they get the intelligence in time? So the people I've met, super excellent, grade A individuals, but again, only one guy has to slip through, Ashley.
So you believe that there probably will be an attempt. The question is, will they get to that stage? Will they get far enough in that attempt to actually create, you know, mayhem as it is? Do you think that is a possibility?
Yeah, I think if you look at the Olympic Games, if you look at the penetration, the focus of ISIS on Latin America in their publications, it's just too attractive. It is simply such a seductive, soft target. The question is, do they get the information in time? And look what happened in Paris. Do you remember?
Yes.
The suicide bomber tried to get into the football stadium where the president was, and he was stopped at the magnetometer. So hopefully that's the kind of sharp-eyed security professionals we're going to have in Brazil who can at least keep that ring of steel sterile.
Same with the suicide bomber in Germany, tried to get into a music concert. Very quickly, Sebastian, while I have you, your thoughts on what the Pope has been saying, that we shouldn't be hung up on violence related to Islam because violence can be related to Catholicism as well.
Look, I'm a cradle Catholic, actually, so I'm not going to attack the pontiff, but I'll attack his message. This is ridiculous. No, but none of that domestic violence he's talking about in Italy is done in the name of Catholicism. He can say that when we see the first imam beheaded in a mosque by a Catholic who says he's doing it for Jesus. But it never happens. And he needs to read the Quran. What does chapter 9 verse 5 say? What does chapter 9 verse 29 say?
Sebastian, I'm glad we got you in on that. Thank you so much, as always, Sebastian Gorka. Which matchup would you rather watch this fall, Giants-Packers or Trump-Clinton? Donald Trump says the Democrats are fixing the debate schedule so Hillary has a smaller audience. That's new at 10. Plus, we'll get Zuhdi Jasser to respond to the Pope's comments defending Islam and blasting Catholicism. All coming up in 2 minutes.